and you. 1580, 103.3 WPKY. It's time for your SportsEdge.com Sideline Report with Todd Griffin. Talking sports and more here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. The Sideline Report is on the air from 1035 West Main Street in Princeton. This is Todd Griffin in the WPKY studios. Thanks for joining us for another show. Ty Englebright sitting in with us, and Ty, already a busy day for you guys, but thanks for hanging around.
Thanks for having me, Todd. Love to be here.
And on the show today, starting things off, we have Corky Peak, who's here to talk about the Birdies for Brownie golf tournament, which is coming up. That's a benefit for Cullen Brown. And Corky, first of all, thanks for being on the show, man.
Thanks for having me, Todd.
Absolutely. And just first of all, kind of tell us how the golf tournament came about.
Well, I was just sitting at home one day, and I'd gotten one of these bracelets that says "Pray for Cullen," and it has James 5:16 on it, and I honestly didn't remember what that verse said. Mm-hmm. So I pulled out my Bible, read the verse, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, and then this song popped in my head out of the blue, which has absolutely nothing to do with the Bible verse. Mm-hmm. That I can remember Shanita at church I remember she was teaching the kids, be God's hands and feet. Has nothing to do with the Bible verse, absolutely nothing. And then in my head, I guess God just told me, get off your butt and do something for them. I mean, and honestly, that's how it came to be. So my first thought was call Barry Ashley. Mm-hmm. And that's what I did. And I messaged him, and I was like, give me a call. So he calls me, and I was like, Barry, we've got to do something for them. We take care of our own. You know, I know one of Cullen's teammates had done that GoFundMe deal. I was like, we've got to do something for them. So he's like, well, seems like the logical thing to do is to have a golf tournament. And I was like, duh. Yeah. Why didn't I think of that? You know. So that kind of got the ball rolling. So the next day I had a meeting with Jeff McDaniels for the Lake Barkley Partnership. And after that, he and I were out in the parking lot talking. He and I were in the same class together, played sports together. So whenever we see each other, we always, reminisce or talk about what's going on. I was like, hey, this came to be yesterday. He's like, let me talk to people at the golf course. Maybe we can give it to you for free.
Yeah.
So sure enough, they had a board meeting. I don't even know, 3-4 days later, he's like, you can have it. The board voted, and to me, this is totally a God thing. 100% how everything has happened. It's just been like, here you go, here you go, here you go. It's just laid out. And, and I know Cullen's attitude has always been this way, not just right now as he faces this, because this is extremely serious, and nobody's thinking that it's not. But his attitude toward this is, I'm going to beat this. But he's been that way his whole life. That, and you guys know him a little bit. He's humble, but he's carefree and he's confident. But it's not like over the top or anything. And he's got unbelievable faith. So to me, this is just God saying, like, okay, this is going to be an unbelievable testimony through Cullen to everybody. And it's kind of like with me, like, oh, gosh, all of a sudden you're kind of in charge of putting together a golf tournament. And I'm like, oh, gosh, Lord, what'd I do? And then all of a sudden it's here you go, here you go, here you go. It's just, I don't have anything to worry about. I'm going to work it out. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, the golf scramble will be held at the Princeton Golf Club. Used to be the Princeton Golf and Country Club here in town. Course Ty out there looking fantastic, and October 11th is the date for the Cullen Brown Scramble.
And I tell you, there's nothing like being on the Princeton Golf Club course in the fall. It's beautiful. The new greens out there have been outstanding. I know all summer I've had the privilege of playing it. I know it's going to be in wonderful condition, and what a wonderful event for just an incredible young man.
That's right. See, what was I going to say? Okay, that's right. 11 o'clock lunch, 12:30 shotgun start. We've still got room for some teams. I think, and Brandy Noth has graciously agreed to be the contact for sign-ups. 270-625-4285 is her number. There's a flyer we just got put together. UK's got it to be sure that it's in compliance with all the NCAA stuff. That's the right word to say on the radio. But that number's already out there, thanks to Todd and other outlets. That's the right way to say that.
There are
you
other
had
outlets?
it first, though.
Yeah, there are other outlets.
Yeah.
Where are they?
You had it first. But there's still a few spots left, but they're filling up quickly. So if you want to play in this, go ahead and contact her or email her, brandynoth@yahoo.com, Brandy with a Y. I know she's glad that I said that. But, this is, and a whole sponsorship, too. It's only $100 to be a whole sponsor, and we'll take as many of those as we can get. This money goes, to help Cullen and the family I can't imagine what these fees are going to be like. I just can't. So, and I've known Cullen since he was born, first off. I've known Emily probably, Emily was a freshman when I was a senior in high school, so I've known her way before that. My first memory of Rodney probably is maybe when I was in elementary school, and he was, maybe 3-4 years older than me, on the playground being, the big, awesome dude throwing the football across the playground and the basketball, and just unbelievable dude, and incredible family, and, of course, Catherine, just awesome girl. So, we just want to support them and help them however we can, and not, it's more than just financial. We want to wrap our arms around them and pray for them and love them, but also help them however we can.
We're talking this morning with Corky Peak, who's here to talk about the Birdies for Brownie golf tournament for Cullen Brown. Will be held here in Princeton October 11th. We're going to talk a lot more with Corky, and Ty's here. Steve Kukahiko, Caldwell County Middle School football coach, will be joining us a little bit later on today, so stay with us as the Sideline Report continues on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
This is Mallory Hancock Lawrence, and we love our Caldwell and Lyon County friends. We invite you to come to Cada's anytime you can to shop with us. We're making it even easier for you. Whether you work in Cada's or just come to town for a visit, stop in and shop with us. But if you're in a hurry, you can pre-order your groceries at HancocksNeighborhoodMarket.com. It's so easy and convenient. Of course, we want to see your smiling face anytime we can, but if you're in a hurry, HancocksNeighborhoodMarket.com is the way to go. Hancock's Neighborhood Market, Cada's.
Herb Hayes Furniture, always the best.
It's time again. Spin the wheel of furniture at Herb Hayes Furniture and Mattress in Hopkinsville. Every spin wins bigger discounts on living room, dining room, bedroom, kids furniture, and so much more. They offer no interest for 12 months, too. And right now, you can save even more. Double your spin and your savings on select items. Herb Hayes Furniture and Mattress, where you always get the best selection, the best furniture at the best price. On the Boulevard in Hopkinsville.
Always the best.
Fish not biting? Head to Willow Pond in Eddyville. The fish is always fine. Catfish or cod, fried or grilled, shrimp or frog legs too.
Excuse me, announcer guy? I'm not really a fish lover.
No problem, ma'am. You'll find lots of other choices like chicken burgers, even steak and salads, and homemade cobblers for dessert.
Perfect. Thanks, Mr. Announcer guy.
You're welcome. And ma'am, my favorite parts are the beans and hush puppies.
Willow Pond of Eddyville on Highway 62, Eddyville, Kentucky. Like them on Facebook.
We continue on the Sideline Report on a Thursday morning at WPKY. Welcome back to the show. Corky Peak is with us this morning, and we're talking about the Birdies for Brownie Golf Scramble at the Princeton Golf Club October 11th. that will benefit Cullen Brown. And Corky, just first of all, let's talk a little bit about Cullen. We've mentioned him, and we all kind of know him. And one of my favorite things about Cullen is when he signed with UK, and everybody's taking pictures at signing. He's got, family, friends, everybody. He invites the media to come up, and we actually had our picture taken with him at Picture Day for his signing with UK.
It's typical Cullen right there. I mean, he just wants to include, he's just that kind of guy. I guess I can't call him a kid anymore. He's 19.
And he's such an incredible golfer, and he had such a great freshman year at UK that, we've had Emma Talley here, and the whole community pulls for her, and everybody's pulling for Cullen because Caldwell County and Lyon County, even though we hate each other, we always pull for each other.
Only when we play each other. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So, if somebody's from Lyon County, we've adopted Ty Rogers. We've adopted Cullen, just like Lyon County's adopted Emma, and it's kind of a weird thing going on there, but everybody's kind of pulling for Cullen, and we thought he was going to have this great sophomore season at UK coming up, but he didn't get to play this year.
That's right. That great sophomore season's still out there, though. I have zero doubt that's going to happen. And these two communities are interwoven. They always will be. People from Princeton and Fredonia come to the lake in Lyon County. Yep. We come up here to go to Walmart and eat and buy things, and the families, are in both counties, and I've got friends up here that I'll always have, and family, and vice versa. Yeah. So it's just like two brothers or two sisters that fight. They love each other, and then when they want something, they go head to head and bump heads, I guess. So it's to me, it's a shame that it's not in the same or the two schools aren't in the same district anymore. I may be getting a little off topic there, but that's another.
Let it out, brother. Yeah. I think you're exactly right.
But and I know that when I coached, I had no greater satisfaction than when I beat Caldwell County, and I'm sure still they, and I know it because I've seen it when Caldwell beats Lyon County, they celebrate like crazy. So. Again, let's get back on topic. Sorry.
Well, no, I think it's great.
Yeah, and just want to talk about Cullen's health issue. He had the cancer in his leg, and obviously that's going to require treatment and surgery, and like you said earlier, a lot of prayers to get through that.
Right. That's right. And I know, I think Emily told me they go back. They may be going back up there today, maybe, and I think the next treatment's next week. I may be wrong about that. But I know it's coming up for the next round of treatments. And I know she told me like the first treatment he got, he was fine, and then the second one, not so good, but he's toughed it out, and I think a surgery might be coming up after the first wave of treatment, so to speak. So, but, he's going to get through it, and I know he believes that. And I think in any situation, this is tough on the parents and the grandparents, and especially with his attitude, he's determined that whatever it takes, I'm going to get through this. And, and it's just tough to see your child go through something like this, and being older, seeing any kid, because I know we've got another family right now experiencing Owen Matthews, little boy that just discovered he had a tumor. I'm just like, man, it's tough to see a child, 19 or 7, whichever, go through that. So it's always tougher on the adult, I believe.
Well, you touched on it, I think, a second ago, though. The family, the communities, that support. You gave me chill bumps a second ago talking about the ties between Caldwell and Lyon County. When you hear a story like this, those lines just blur away because the whole community comes together. We can partner together. Jeff has that connection,
right.
Of course, raised in Lyon County, but yet, he runs a bank here in Caldwell County, and these families just always come together. Communities rally around these families in times like this, and it's so just heartening to see how it all works.
That's
and I
exactly
know
right.
those families appreciate so much that support and that uplifting and those prayers.
That's exactly right. And, and during all this, nobody's uttered a word about any of that. It's just, what can we do to help?
Right.
And here it is. And I, and I'm so thankful for that, personally, just trying to do this. And it's not just me. The others have, stepped up and they're doing their part, and it's all going to come together. I mean, even you, what you did to get that out there like that, and I think by Saturday there had already been like 8 sign up, and that's 100% because of what you did to get it out there just like that. And you had a football game to cover that night, and it was out there probably within 15 or 20 minutes.
Well, and Cullen has such a support system because, he's made so many friends wherever he's gone. He's got the University of Kentucky behind him, and
right.
all those Big Blue Nation fans out there. So there are a lot of people pulling for him in this fight.
That's exactly right. And you lead me to a good point. I mean, the people that I've dealt with at UK have been phenomenal. Kevin Sargent in the compliance department has been unbelievable because, you've got to fill out paperwork to get to do this tournament because he's a NCAA athlete. And then I've asked for some other things to help us raise money that day of the golf tournament. The UK football office, the UK basketball office. They've said, here you go. Maybe in other situations they wouldn't have, but because of Cullen and because of the nature of this event, they've done it. And then Brian Craig, oh my gosh, UK's golf coach. He's unbelievable. He called me the other day, talked to me for 45 minutes. We talked about Cullen, and I told him a story about Cullen had started out playing basketball, and he's like, no, there's too much running. I'm going to play golf. And he just died laughing. He's like, I could hear Cullen saying that in his voice, and he just cackled.
Yeah.
Because he knows Cullen. He's been around him enough to just know the personality and knowing that he just said it with a straight face and meant it. He wasn't trying to be funny, and then just talked about how great their family is and how, the type of person that Cullen is, and then talked about the support that Cullen has from the UK community. And then, of course, I travel around the state a lot, and then we ended up knowing some of the same people. He didn't have to talk to me. He could have just said, yes, we're going to give you some UK golf things and taken 5 minutes. But he didn't do that. That's the kind of people UK has, up there around Cullen supporting him, because he didn't know me from Adam.
Wow.
Well, will UK be able to have some people maybe come play in this or be around the tournament when it happens?
That's yet to be determined. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. He did ask when, where. They don't play anywhere that weekend. So
they're open. They're open that week.
That's right. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
And you talk about a silent auction you guys are going to have in conjunction with the golf tournament. I've got to guess there's some UK paraphernalia in there someplace too.
There will be. There's going to be some signed basketball, football, lots of golf paraphernalia from UK. So, and if it's signed by basketball and football, you know who's signing them. So I don't want to get in any trouble or anything in case anybody from Kansas City or Indy's listening in compliance with NC2A. So,
well, the NCAA rules are tough. UK has their own rules that can be tough. I know as a news organization or as media or however we're defined, we're supposed to go through the University of Kentucky Media Relations to talk to Cullen.
wow.
So, even if I see Cullen on the golf course practicing, which I have seen before,
right.
I'm not supposed to go over with my little camera and say, hey, do you want to do an interview? I'm officially supposed to go through UK. So, sometimes they can split hairs that way, but in this situation, it seems like they're all on board with everything
right.
you're doing.
That's exactly right. I mean, they've been nothing but helpful and supportive and just incredible to me. And, ultimately, they just want him to get back to being Cullen and 100% and back on the golf course. So,
Well, and the great thing about watching Cullen play golf, he's so good. It's like watching Emma Talley. I mean, they're on a different level than everybody
That's
else.
right.
I mean, it's not even funny sometimes. If you're somebody who tried to play golf and are really bad at it, and you watch, they make it look easy. I know it's not. I know they put in tons of hours and really work at it, but again, just the player he is, we want to see him back out there and playing golf. And he had just played in a PGA event, and, seemed like things were about to take off for him, as a golfer.
That's right. I mean, I don't know what everybody's expectations were for him, or even, and seems like I remember an interview. The tough part was just the logistics of the tournament for him. I think that's what he'd said. The easy part for him that week was just the golf. Just where are we going to stay? How are we going to get here? Because they had to go get a car because, like, everybody in that event got, like, a Lexus to drive and this and that. He's like, heck, the easy part or the fun part is going to be the golf.
Yeah.
I
don't think he gets tore up about the golf part.
He doesn't.
Ever,
No.
And that's what's the most amazing thing about Cullen. I had not met him before until I think we had him on the show while he was still in high school. And here comes this 18-year-old kid that talked like he was 40.
Oh, the media loves him, man.
Oh, the composure, the expression, the articulation, the guy's just got it.
He sure does.
And all the way around, and it's so fun to listen to him talk. Like, oh, hello, Governor. You want to say when he comes in the room.
And to me, Emily's dad, Herschel, he reminds me so much, just the wisdom. And I'm sure it's a combination of all of his grandparents,
that environment,
his mom, his dad.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, when he speaks, that's, he's just that wisdom.
He's got it.
He does. He absolutely
he really
does.
does.
But from a media standpoint, you're always trying to get those good quotes from people and put together good stories. And when you talk to Cullen about just anything, you're like, oh, man, this is gold. I can't wait to write this up.
And it's not the cliche stuff. You want to think it's the cliche stuff, especially when he's talking about it, but it's even better than that.
Yeah. And he's always been that way. So, yeah, he's a special kid. And and it's so funny because everybody's finding this out now.
Yeah.
We've known it for years. Everybody that, people started learning about him, I guess, probably when he was in middle school, when he, placed so high in the regional golf tournament or won it maybe. I think he did win it. And then everybody, slowly but surely, all the other media, state tournament, state runner-up, state champion, and then big-time media at UK, and then the Barbasol. He's been this way his whole life.
Something.
We're talking this morning with Corky Peak about the Birdies for Brownie golf tournament for Cullen Brown that will be held here in Princeton. And how did that name come about, Corky?
I believe the kid's name was Jay. I don't know if it's Kirchendorfer or Kirkendorfer. I honestly don't know. It was one of Cullen's teammates from Louisville. He lives in Louisville on the UK golf team. He's the one that started the GoFundMe up at UK. And I'll give him credit. I think, I'm assuming something here. I'm guessing they call him Brownie at UK. So that was just a fundraiser that they started for him. So when I initially contacted UK about doing this, they just said, hey, just call it that. It'll be simpler that way for them to be able to track the money. And I love it, personally. It just keeps me from having to come up with something creative because I'm not that creative, frankly. But, everybody knows what it is. Everybody knows who he is. So,
And UK has been using the hashtag B4B.
That's right.
Which is
Birdies for Brownie.
Birdies for Brownie, and it's on all the UK golf clothing, hats, everything this year that they're going around competing with. So that's pretty cool, too.
That's right. That's right. Hopefully I'll get one of those somehow, some way. If not, I'll get somebody to sew me one in.
Maybe there'll be a few of those available at the golf tournament.
That's right. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Tell us once again when the tournament is and how you got to sign up for it.
It is Friday, October 11th. Lunch will begin at 11. Shotgun start at 12:30. Want to throw in there that P&H Cattle Company is providing all the meat for the event. Grilling out Brandon Shoulders, finest griller in Lyon County. We'll be cooking all the food. You sign up. You can email Brandy Noth at brandynoth@yahoo.com, or call her at 270-625-4285. Any questions, you can call me at 270-933-3096, but I think we've laid out everything pretty straightforward on here.
$100 for a whole sponsor, and then what's the team entry fee?
$320. That includes a mulligan per person. It's built into the cost because everybody usually buys mulligans. So, and that's a pretty fair. We think it's not too expensive, so people won't play. But it's filling up. So if you want to play in it, go ahead and contact her. Did you ask me something else?
I'm not sure.
I just wanted to make sure that we had the entry fee covered and the whole sponsors, and need as many. They'll take many of those as you need.
That's exactly.
As
And
you can.
yeah, whole sponsors are $100, so it's pretty affordable.
And it's October 11th at Princeton Golf Club, the Birdies for Brownie golf tournament. We're talking this morning with Corky Peak. We'll be back with more on the Sideline Report after this on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
A 30% chance of a shower, maybe a thunderstorm this morning. Mostly cloudy otherwise with a high near 80 this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low down to 61. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high near 90. And tomorrow night, mostly clear, low down to 68 for football kickoff. Weekend looking like partly sunny skies, high 89 Saturday. Mostly sunny Sunday, a high near 91. Again, that slight chance of showers today, about a 30% chance early. And then partly cloudy to cloudy skies, a high near 80.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Big John's Barbecue.
Need cash fast? Get the money you need. Call ABC Finance now.
Life doesn't always go as planned, and sometimes money is tight when you need it most.
At ABC Finance, we're here for you.
Hi, this is Jody Lamb at the Princeton ABC Finance location.
And this is Todd Morris at the Hopkinsville location.
And we can help you in a pinch, even if your credit is less than perfect.
At ABC Finance, we provide loans up to $15,000 and the individual attention to help you get your finances back on track.
We are locally owned and staffed, and decisions are made quickly, usually within an hour.
No appointment is needed. Walk-ins are welcome.
You can even give us a call, and we will take your application over the phone.
Or you can apply online at abcfinanceonline.com.
And like ABC Finance on Facebook.
ABC Finance in Hopkinsville on Fort Campbell Boulevard next to O'Charlie's, and in Princeton Plaza. ABC Finance. All loans subject to normal credit approval.
Back on the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Want to tell you about Dave's Deal of the Week at U-Ride in Princeton. This week it's a 2002 Ford F-150 white 4x4. See Dave for details at U-Ride in Princeton. That's U-Ride, 310 Marion Road. Telephone 270-365-3215. Go by and be sure to ask about Dave's Deal of the Week at U-Ride in Princeton. Back on the Sideline Report, Corky Peak with us. Caldwell County Middle School football coach Steve Kukahiko coming up in just a little bit. And Corky, I didn't want you to get out of here before I asked you, are our Cardinals going to hang on or not?
That's a good question, man. I tell you what, after what the Cardinals did last weekend to the Cubs, it'd be pretty sweet for the Cubs.
Oh, yeah.
Coming into St. Louis to get some revenge, but I'd like to think the Cubs are done and the Cardinals can win. I mean, what they got to do, win 2 games?
Yeah, I think they need to take 2 out of 3.
So,
the Cardinals are in the playoffs either way,
that's
but
right.
You want the Central Division. You don't want the wild card.
That's exactly right. So I've got to think that at home they can win 2 games.
They've been pretty tough at Busch Stadium
That's
this year.
right.
So
that's right. And Wayno will have at least one of those games, I think, right?
I can't remember.
I think, because he threw at Wrigley on Saturday, so I think he will.
I was afraid there would be a bit of a letdown after sweeping the Cubs and going to Arizona, and you're playing a team that doesn't really have anything left to play for. And, yeah, sure enough, they let 2 out of 3 get away from them out there, and made me stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning one day. And
well, see, I couldn't do that. That 19-inning game, though, I think that hurt them as much as anything. But, yeah, there's no way I could last that long, having to get up to work the next day. But
and it's tough having one of those games at this time of the year when you have that. I mean, that is draining.
It is
to a staff, to the management. I mean, that's tough.
It cost them 2 games, really.
Yeah.
Because you play, the bench guys the next day, and they blew the lead. That's the thing; they had the lead. I checked. We had a playoff game last night in middle school ball, and of course, it was on YouTube. And I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh, they're up 5-2, I think."
Yeah, in good shape. So.
Yeah, and Rose Arena had hit his bomb.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, okay, we're in good shape." So 5th or 6th inning, so I popped it off and didn't even look at it again. And lo and behold, 7-run inning and take the L.
And now it's a 1-game lead. Yeah,
I'm just hoping we're not going to see. I mean, I know a lot of people want an LA New York matchup like in the late '70s, but being you're Cardinal guys, I'm a Braves guy. I just don't know if it would probably be great drama and great baseball, but it's all about TV these days. But
with all respect to Wes Ode and the Dodgers, they give it up in the playoffs.
He's got that hat on.
I know he does. He's my age. I know Wes well.
That's hilarious.
I know several Dodgers fans. Scott Dillingham always used to wear me out about the Dodgers. So
yeah.
But yeah, and you mentioned the middle school team there a little bit. Go ahead and talk about the middle school team.
I'll do it. We won our first playoff game. Well, first off, we won the regular season in the West Kentucky Middle School Baseball League, 15-team league, pretty much. Well, Union, Webster, Livingston line, and then everybody in the Purchase region. 4 Paducah schools, 2 McCracken County teams, Paducah Middle, St. Mary, then Marshall, all those guys. We won that, number 1 seed in the tournament, got a bye. Played Ballard last night, beat them 9-2. We play the winner of Carlisle and Marshall. They play tonight in the semifinals on Saturday morning. So Ricky Baker's he's the high school coach. He's also the middle school coach. I help with both those now again, crazy enough. But just had a phenomenal season. Ricky's an awesome coach. Just works great with these boys. Relates great to them. Teaches them the game the right way. So, got to get a plug in there, keeping our fingers – well, it's not luck. If we play well, we'll win the thing, frankly. If we don't, the other teams will have a chance.
That's a Lyon County middle school baseball team.
That's right. That's exactly right. We've got some really good pitchers, Eli Baker, Travis Perry, Brady Shoulders, Jack Reddick. That pitching's carried us. For most of the year, and good defense. I mean, we hit the ball well too, but in tournament time, pitching and defense play.
That's going to do it.
That's right.
Well, good luck with that. And the Lyon County High School team had a great year this past spring, and looks like you're turning out some baseball players down at Lyon County.
That's right.
It's not just basketball anymore.
Yeah,
that's right. Well, we're going to have a pretty good basketball team too.
Yes, you are.
But, I'm chomping at the bit for the high school season. I know. Workouts are starting soon with them, and those guys have been coming out and taking BP after middle school practice. And, man, yeah, it's been a lot of fun watching those boys pepper the scoreboard and things like that. I won't go much further with that, but yeah,
that's
awesome.
A lot of
fun.
That's great.
Yeah, just one more thing before we let you go. Do you miss the Wednesday night battles on the basketball court at Fredonia?
What I miss is Scott Brown's figure 8. I do. I tell you what I miss is being able to move like that.
Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah, I'm too old to do that now.
I'm not sure I could run all the way down the court without having to stop once for a break.
No doubt. No doubt.
Well, Corky, we appreciate it. The Birdies for Brownie golf tournament coming up October 11th at Princeton Golf Club. That's all for Cullen Brown. Good luck with that, and congratulations to you guys on getting that up and running.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me on here and promoting this, and thank you to you for getting it out there.
Absolutely.
So,
thanks again. That's Corky Peak. Ty Englebright in on the show this morning. This is Todd Griffin, and we've got more of the Sideline Report to go. Caldwell County Middle School football coach Steve Kukahiko will be in here in just a little bit, and he's brought a guest this morning, so we'll talk to him in just a minute. Stay with us on the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
A 30% chance of a shower, maybe a thunderstorm this morning. Mostly cloudy otherwise with a high near 80 this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low down to 61. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high near 90. And tomorrow night, mostly clear, low down to 68 for football kickoff. Weekend looking like partly sunny skies, high 89 Saturday. Mostly sunny Sunday, a high near 91. Again, that slight chance of showers today, about a 30% chance early. And then partly cloudy to cloudy skies, a high near 80.
Life is filled with moments. Moments we share with those we love, worry about, and strive to protect the most. At Woodman Life, we provide life insurance and retirement products to help protect you and your family so that you can enjoy all the moments to come.
This is Josh Ray, your local Woodman Life agent. Come see us at 1009 West Main Street or give us a call at 365-6111.
Certain eligibility and age restrictions apply. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
The holidays, time to enjoy with those you love. If you're thinking about new flooring in your home before the holidays, now's the time to stop in at Perry's Floors and More and let them help you find the perfect flooring that will not only add warmth and style to any room in your home, but also flooring that will stand up to the wear and spills of everyday life. Whichever floor you choose will be backed by reputable manufacturers and installed with expert care. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors and More, 127 West Market, Princeton. Call 270-365-9869.
It's all at your fingertips now at WPKYonline.com. Local video, local news, local sports, local weather information, and of course, contests. Plus, you can listen to us on your smart device. Just click the Listen Now button. We've made it easier to find your favorite information. WPKYonline.com.
We continue on the Sideline Report on a Thursday morning at WPKY. Welcome back to the show. Had a brief guest appearance there by Jimmy Dyer, who got out of here really quick, but Ty wanted to say something about the Milwaukee Brewers.
Something about that baseball team up there in Milwaukee. So anyway, they're still hanging on. He and Bruce McAllister, those diehard Brewer fans, and I think Jake Pepper might be an outside Brew Crew fan, I think.
I think they all wanted equal time. They heard us talking about the Cardinals, so
I think so.
And we're joined now on the show by Caldwell County Middle School football coach Steve Kukahiko. And Steve, how's things going with you guys?
Going great, Todd. When I texted you yesterday or the other day about coming on and speaking about a little bit about the rest of our middle school football season, with the events that have happened in the last week or so, I thought, well, it'd be cool if I could bring a special guest this morning. And you were very gracious about letting me, and of course, this gentleman beside me was gracious enough about even coming in and speaking this morning. Now, I don't know how much he's going to speak, but we'll see.
Well, and tell us who you got.
Well, we got a young man that has been part of our middle school football team for the last couple of years, and he was unfortunately involved in one of those freak football plays where he was injured and severely injured, and he's battling right now with a lot of stuff. And so, but I brought with me this morning Jackson Towery.
Excellent. How you doing, Jackson?
Good morning. Good. How are you?
Good. It's going great. What about the season for you guys? Tell us about all the wins this season.
Well, that's all we had was wins, and it felt good. I didn't have a lot of that in junior pro. I'm just happy that I could get up in middle school and do it.
And Steve, you guys are still riding the undefeated streak.
We are. I told Jackson when I picked him up this morning, I said, for sure wish we could have 23 on the field tonight. It'd just make us a little bit better. But the challenge is up for our kids now. We play undefeated Paducah Tillman at their place tonight, and so we still got 3 games left. Hopefully tonight we'll be on the winning side. Both teams are undefeated at this point. And so the progress that these young men have made over the course of the summer and in the weight room just transpires into the season. And so it's been pretty good. So it ought to be an exciting game at Paducah. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, I was going to say, what have you guys done well this year to have such a great season?
I think, and me personally, just speaking from my standpoint, not the other coaches, I think that like Jackson alluded on to, with our junior pro program, we're the only team in that community that splits teams. I know it's very difficult on a lot of the kids to do that, but when I talked to Coach Enos here last week, and I said, you're doing a good job, whether you realize or not. The parents are the ones that probably don't understand it, and we're getting beaten all over the field by teams and when they come to middle school, we're one team, and now we're returning the favor. And so if people can endure 2 or 3 years of junior pro football, then hopefully it'd be like this season. It'd be one of those magical seasons that every coach wishes that he could continue doing that. But the product is on the field. We have nothing to do with it. They're the athletes. They make the plays. We just kind of put them in positions to go make plays. And young men like Jackson and others on the team that they just love the game, and that's what we love about it, that they love it. And so it's been pretty good so far, and it has been. And so I'm just proud of the young men, the efforts they're giving each and every time we step on the field. People just don't realize they're 13 and 14-year-old kids sometimes. You know, sometimes as me as a coach, I feel like that they're 17 and 18, and we shouldn't have these issues, but we do. So I've got to back it down to their level and help them that way. So.
But you've got a good-looking team, and you've got some kids that if they were just a little bit older, could probably be helping out the high school team.
They could, and but hopefully our main objective is that we show product of winning, obviously, but getting better, and then we can we just swap locker rooms. I tell the kids, this year you're in this locker room, 8th grade, hopefully you're in the other locker room outside of us, and as long as we can continue sending products over to them, then our football team will have the success it's had in the last several years.
Well, and the high school team has had that success, and you mentioned the junior pro program, and I know people would like to win championships at that level, and it's great to always win whatever level you're at, but those two teams really helps you develop a lot of kids, where if it was just one big team, there's a lot of guys that, might get left out, where now they get a chance to play, and who knows who your next star quarterback or running back or defensive lineman is going to come from.
Well, and in our situation, we try to develop at least 2 quarterbacks per grade, because we never know who's going to be a quarterback when they get to high school. And so we're trying to develop what we can do for us at that particular moment. Now, in high school, they may change positions or whatever, but we like to send at least 1 or 2 kids up there that can be quarterback. I mean, look at the situation with Russ Bashir. This is his first year at quarterback. I mean, in middle school, we played him at quarterback, but then they moved him around. Russ loves defense. I mean, absolutely love and that's one of the things I talked to him about last year, and I think I did hear one of the coaches make the comment. He said, "Coach, am I going to get to play defense?" And I think they kind of come with a situation, we're going to let you play defense, but we want you to play quarterback. And Russ said, "Coach, whatever it's going to take for me to get me on the field to help my team, that's what I'll do." And so that's a product of young men making those statements, because they want to play for their teammates, and that's what Jackson is. I mean, before I forget, and his mom, I hope she sent me a text, and she wants me to read a lot of things, but she had made the comment the other day that there's so many people after Jackson's accident. I mean, and I'm not sure if you were there that night, Todd.
No, I was at the soccer game and then headed to volleyball.
Yeah, and it wasn't long. And if you ever watched the movie called Facing the Giants, football movie, it was a situation where Jackson, it's one of those freak plays. I mean, it wasn't a hit or nothing. He just got whiplashed underneath his legs and it fell back on his head. And immediately paramedics came in. I'm not sure how much Jackson remembers about the incident. Do you remember much at all, Jackson?
Nope.
Not at all. Okay. But he hit on his head, and obviously by the time the doctor came and the paramedics came and they evaluated him, they took the opportunity of getting him to the hospital, but they said we're going to air flight him to the hospital. And of course that was a concern. But during that 20 or 25 minutes of doing this, and of course the coaches around Jackson, the paramedics and everything, a group of young men, now we're talking 13, 14-year-old kids again, they gathered in a circle and prayed over their teammate. I mean, how do you, you see it a lot of times in college and things like that, but we're talking middle school? Really? But they did that. Well, what was amazing about that is the team we were playing was Graves County. Their coach comes over, they take their team, and they surround our players. And guess what? They prayed over them too. So, and and I've heard several different comments. I mean, groups in the stands. would gather together. Not knowing this, it brings chill bumps to my arms right now. But not knowing this, they're all praying for this young man right here. And of course, after the game was over with and we all assembled back, we decided not to, for obvious reasons, not play a 7th grade game. And we were ahead in the 8th grade game. We decided not. The coach said, "Coach, if you don't want to play with everything going on, that's understandable. Wasn't but a minute left in the game, and we had the game well in hand." And so we decided not to finish out the 7th grade game. And I look around, and all of a sudden I see a lot of these women, and didn't know exactly who all of them were, but they were on the field. And I thought, and I found out afterwards that during that particular day, that they were, asked if they would come to this particular game and just watch their kids, the teachers' kids play, not knowing what was going to transpire during the course of events. But then after the game, the teachers came down on the field. Obviously emotions were flying with players and everything, and they were console them too. So those teachers that are listening this morning or hear about this, thank you. I mean, I didn't personally go around to thank every one of them because everything was going on in my mind was not that particular instance, but they went around and consoled their kids. I mean, I don't know any other schools that. I mean, I'm sure there's schools that do that, but here in a local small town that they take advantage of that. But I'm immediately after Jackson gets. Anytime you want to speak, you can. Okay, just don't.
Yeah, just jump up to the mic.
I mean, this is you, dude. And so, just tell them what you remember at all, Jackson, if you can.
My big catch that I had. I remember that. And then there's another play. It's a good play. I got in the backfield. I hit a kid, but he tossed the ball off before I could get him down. And then when we ran him back a few yards, and I don't remember who got him. I think it was Cole.
What else?
I don't remember.
You don't remember anything? I'm trying to.
No, I remember the last 5 minutes of the helicopter ride.
But going back to Jackson, if you don't know Jackson Tyree, he's one of many kids on the football team that's going to give everything he's got. I'll just say it that way. He's a type of young man that will go out of his way a lot of times. Sometimes he can be a knucklehead, and then we really have to get into him and explain to some things. But when you step inside those white lines on a Friday or a Thursday night or Tuesday night, whenever we're playing, it's just all out go. And Jackson will tell you, I mean, the kid can run like a deer. He plays hard. I don't think he ever gets tired. I mean, if he does, he doesn't ever tell a coach. But after this incident had happened, and I was riding with Mr. Smiley and Miss White to Evansville to check on Jackson that night, I get text messages from coaches. Before we got to Evansville, the coach, Kendall from Graves County, the team we were playing, had texted me, "Coach," he didn't say, "How's your kid?" He said, "How's Jackson?" He mentioned the kid by his first name. And so things like that. And so we're replying back and forth through a text message. Well, I was telling Jackson that the next morning about, I think it's about 6:30, I had it on my phone, Coach from McCracken County had texted me, "Coach, how's Jackson?" I mean, it's just the overwhelming of a response that he was getting from people that he didn't know. It just, that one event had caused an uproar, an uprising of prayers all over Jackson Tyree. Let me read this right quick before I forget. This is what his mom had sent me this morning. This is from Jackson's mom, Kim Tyree. It says, "We have been completely overwhelmed with the love and support we've been shown. We are so proud and blessed to be members of a community that really goes above and beyond when they are needed. All the surrounding communities have been supportive as well, impartial to Graves County because they're the ones that showed the most response of that night, obviously. The night of the accident, they were no longer the opposing team. We were all one football family. We are grateful to the first responders that acted quickly to make sure our son received the best care possible. The school facility has been nothing but supportive, loving, and understanding. The entire community has truly been the hands and feet of Jesus to our family. Thank you to everyone for the prayers. Jax is well on the road to recovery. God bless Mark and Kim Tyree. So, I mean, it's stuff like that, Todd, Ty, that it brings the community even closer on events like this. And I think with all that being said, tonight is the biggest game that we'll play all year. The next game is the most important game, and tonight it's at Paducah Tillman. That's for sure.
Is Paducah the best team you guys are going to see this year?
Probably so. Probably so. I'm not sure. We have to ride a bus there. I think they drive. Does that make sense?
They're kids?
They're kids. They're kids. No, I'm just serious.
I think I played a Hopkinsville middle school team in basketball one year that I think did that.
And but they're huge. They're huge. I mean, but, like I said, as a coach, as players, we're challenging them every way possible. I mean, they've gone through this since March, and here it is almost October, and you've got an opportunity to get better. And I think they will. I think they'll rise. I think yesterday's practice was one of those that I think they were kind of, for the first time this year, I think they've been quiet. So that's a good thing. Sometimes I feel like if they're quiet, they're thinking about tomorrow night, which would be tonight. And hopefully we do. We've given them everything that we possibly can give them. As far as what we saw on some of their games, we prepared them the best we can. Now it's up to them to go out there and prove that. And so, hopefully, that when I send you a text tonight, if you get one tonight, it's a win. If you don't get one, it's probably not going to be very good, but I will send you something anyway to let you know either way.
The 8th grade team 8-0 and the 7th grade team 6-0, is that right?
7-0.
7-0, okay.
Well, excuse me, 6-0. 6-0 because in the Trojan Bowl, they didn't have a 7th grade game, and then we didn't play the other night. So 6-0. So
just want to go back to the injury just one more time, though, and say that I know that's always scary anytime somebody gets hurt on a football field and nobody ever wants to see it, but man, it's great to see you up and around, and hope you're feeling a whole lot better.
I'm feeling good. And there's some people that I would like to thank.
Okay.
Elizabeth Martin, I want to thank her for sewing my jersey up, and people from Graves and people from here just praying for me and making sure I'm okay.
On his jersey, Todd, whenever after the game was over with, like I alluded to earlier, I'd washed his jersey, and I called Miss White. I said, do you have anybody that would be willing to sew up his jersey? And she said, yeah, just bring it to me and take care of it. So I went to the school yesterday, and she said, I want you to look at his jersey. So as you can see now, whenever the paramedics tried to get it off of him, they just started cutting.
They got to cut.
I mean, they're not going to, and I understand that. And but the young girl that he's talking about, Elizabeth Martin, she's in the 8th grade, and she volunteered to sew up his jersey. So I thought it was pretty cool that a classmate would sew up a classmate's jersey for that instance instead of going to someone else and having that done. But the reason that we wanted to sew the jersey up is that, after tonight, next week we play on Tuesday at Crittenden County. It would be a 7th and 8th grade game, and then we follow up that Thursday, a week from tonight, with our makeup game against Marshall County, and that will be our 8th grade recognition night. So regardless of what happens tonight and Tuesday night, we still want the community to come out and support these young people that have been very, very diligent about practicing and playing this year and representing Caldwell County High School. So as of right now, the game tonight is a 7th grade game first tonight at 5:30, and then the 8th grade game will follow. Next week, I'm not sure when you go to other places who's going to play first, but I always try to let the parents know as soon as I can. But I do know that a week from tonight, the 8th grade recognition will take place before the games.
Okay.
And that way, I wish other schools would do that, because on a school night, a weeknight, and then we're usually the ones that are away, and after they do their I heard somebody say they got so many football players, cheerleaders, managers, the band, and I'm going, are you kidding me? I mean, really? I mean, do they not think about the visiting team somewhat? And so that's the reason that Mr. Gray moved our 8th grade recognition to that, because Marshall County wouldn't get home. So hopefully, if people are listening to this outside our community, they will understand that what we're trying to do, maybe that'll make it easier on us next year. We'll see.
You guys have a great season going, and glad everything's working out with the injury, and just keep on fighting, everybody.
We are.
Congratulations
and,
on the season.
With that, young men like him, it makes it a little easier to coach, because all you got to do is just let them play.
That's Steve Kukahiko, and we thank Jackson Towery for joining him today. Thanks for coming in. Ty, thanks for being on the show again. A busy show today with Corky Peak and then Steve and Jackson coming into the studio with us this morning. And another great show, I thought.
Another great show, Todd, and always am delighted to be asked to be a part of it. So thank you so much.
That's going to wrap it up this morning on the Sideline Report. This is Todd Griffin of WPKY Radio and YourSportsEdge.com. Thanks for listening to the Sideline Report on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The acting National Intelligence Director, Joe McGuire, is taking questions